Jeff Hare asks, as operation manager, how do I motivate a lazy staff or team?
Jeff, that's a great question, and in love, I'm going to answer this as honest as I can. Whenever I hear about a lazy staff member or a lazy team or a lazy, group of staff, my first thought goes to the leadership. I would be looking at you myself first if I was you, going, what am I creating here? The team usually are the product of their environment. I'd be asking myself, what's the culture that I am intentionally driving from the top of the food chain? Are you intentionally building a culture that fosters hard work and rewards hard work and encourages an environment where it draws the best out of people, where they feel super valued, connected to a bigger vision beyond just themselves? I'd be asking myself those questions first, because in my experience, in the majority of cases, and certainly not all, the team will only work to the level they're expected to. And if there's a bit of dysfunction, it's usually because it's allowed from the top. I wouldn't say it's created from the top, but it's allowed from the top. So the first place, I never look to the staff, I never look to the team as the problem. I first go further up the food chain. To me, as the operations manager, the buck stops with you, or maybe the business owner, the buck stops with them, but in your department, the buck stops with you. So I'd first be holding a mirror up and going, okay, what do I need to fix as ops manager to create an environment that best facilitates a team? Now, let's say you're doing a cracker job, and let's say you've got a team of 8 and 7 are amazing and 1 isn't. Well, then you obviously have an environment that works well, and you're left with 1 rogue staff member. To me, so if I've dealt with the first one of looking at myself, and then I realize that it's not me and it's an individual, I would look at them and I put all those staff members that operate like that through a program that I call Average to Awesome. I give them every opportunity to be excellent, okay, before I was to go and say you're fired. And there's no issue with you're fired. I think too many people hang on to staff too long trying to fix them, and they never want to change. And you can't actually change anybody. You can lead them, you can't really manage them. So you're never going to change them. So if they're never ever going to change. But first, I would always want to give them every opportunity to turn and come good and join the rest of the team and do a great job. The way I do that is a program that I essentially call Average to Awesome. I sit down and get one-on-one with the staff member who's not performing, and I say, currently you're average, I want to get you to awesome. Let's agree on some milestones on how to get there. 4 weeks. And then week 1, 2, 3, and 4, we're going to have another meeting like this, checking that we are, doing the things that we've set out over these 4 weeks. What usually happens is they either come really good and play by the rules, or they don't. And at the end of week 1, you have a meeting and it's not going very well, and they'll quit. Or if by the end of week 2, you're having your meeting and they've missed the KPIs you set on week 1 and 2, they usually vote themselves off the island. And that's a great position to be in. If you get to 3 or 4 and they haven't been able to do it, it gets very easy to sit down with them and say, you didn't meet the expectations, unfortunately, we're going to have to let you go. You document all of that in case they run off to work cover and have a moment and all those sort of things. Then you've got the whole program there that you can provide to them and say, I gave every opportunity for them to go. But before I look at the staff, I always look at the leadership.